darkness was mine. Didn't know it was there the whole time. Secret I told you long ago. Back from the dead, out of control. With your eyes open, see with your eyes closed. Drive into the sunset, leave it all on the road. Leave it all on the road. Leave it all on the road. Leave it all on as I fall, I'm a bastard, heartless smile. Hear my laughter, love's on trial. I am broken, you are fire. Lies unspoken, heart's desire. I didn't know the darkness was mine. Didn't know it was there the whole time. Secret I told you long ago. Back from the dead, out of control. With your eyes open, see with your eyes closed. Drive into the sunset, leave it all on the road. Leave it all on the road. Leave it all on the road. Leave it all on the road.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Macromaster coming at you. Today is Friday, January 17th, 2025. Yes, got it right. Today I'm going to be playing some Minecraft Bedrock Edition, continuing to build up my base and my tram system. Before I get into the game, I do want to apologize for not being on yesterday. It was a situation fully outside of my control. Apparently, there was some kind of issue. I still do not have a definitive answer as to what was going on. I could not connect to the Twitch server through OBS. I tried to contact Twitch support. They said it's OBS problem. Speak to them. I go to OBS support. They said it's your internet service provider. Speak to them. I go to my internet service provider and they say that my modem is not functioning, which is funny because that's how I got their number, was by looking it up online. So I told them at the time that I was trying to go live yesterday at 4:55 a.m. World of Warcraft was logged in, or World of Warcraft Classic I was logged in. The character was up. I was moving around doing some pre-stream stuff in game. But the stream would not go live. I couldn't even get OBS to transfer over into bandwidth test mode. It would not run bandwidth test mode. So I don't know what was going on, but between 4:55 a.m. yesterday and 6:15 a.m. yesterday, I had no way to stream at all. Now, if it was as my internet service provider stated that the bandwidth, the upload bandwidth on my service had dipped below Twitch's minimum requirement to operate, I don't know if that's true, because I've never had this issue before. I mean, I've had issues where I've missed a stream because I overslept. Steve King, what's going on? Yeah, I'm just ranting right now about how no one could give me a definitive answer as to why I wasn't able to go live yesterday. Again, it was a situation beyond my control. When I oversleep, that's under my control. When I decide not to stream, that's in my control. When there's a power outage, that's really not in my control, but it has nothing to do with my ability to connect to Twitch servers. So I don't know what was going on, but yeah, it was a glitch. I really wanted to. I was up. I was ready. Had my work shirt on. Had my classic WoW hat on. I was ready to go, and something was preventing me. Anyway, let's get into the game. Alright, I am still working on my tram system. This is a long-term project, and when I say long, I mean long-term. I mean long. I'm probably going to be working on this tram system forever, because every time I go exploring and find something interesting, I'm like, ooh, I gotta move my tram system to that location. And the only way to make my tram system move to that location is to build up the tram system to that location. Alright. Let's exit out of the thing. I did off stream take the time to build up the pathway for the tram system and to connect it to over there, which is the next The next one is probably to take my tram system off that way. But for right now, I'm heading in this direction. But yeah. Because building up the pathway is kind of boring. I didn't want to bore you guys with watching a stream of just me putting down sand block after sand block after sand block just to put this together. Besides, building the actual tunnel itself is way more interesting than building the base, the pathway for the tunnel system. In my opinion. Basically, I base what I do in game here on what would I like to watch someone do. And dropping sandblock after sandblock after sandblock, not that interesting. Especially since I could fill up an entire 1 hour stream just dropping sand blocks. And it's like nothing really gets done. You don't see the tunnel system take shape. You just see me making this pathway out of sand blocks. Whereas doing this, you are seeing the actual tunnel take shape, and that, in my opinion, is much more interesting to watch. Yeah, I take my I basically take my my decision making on what to stream is based pretty much entirely on Kevin Smith's philosophy when it comes to making movies. His philosophy for making movies is he's going to write a movie script. What would he want to watch? That's basically how he writes scripts for movies, is what story do I want to see? Not what story does the audience want to see. And that's how we end up with things like Tusk, where it's like, what human in their right mind would think of something like this? Is the usual refrain that I hear from people who've seen Tusk, or even just watched the trailer for the movie. I mean, I thought it was funny. Maybe a little scary, but mostly funny. Because I find most of what Kevin Smith does to be funny. Dogma, Clerks, Clerks 2, Clerks 3, Mallrats. I can't wait to Yoga Hosers. I can't wait to see Moose Jaws and Twilight of the Mallrats, which are both movies that he has promised us to some degree. I love watching the videos of his podcast. I started watching or listening to Kevin Smith's podcasts, things like Hollywood Babylon and Jay and Silent Bob Get Old, back in like 2010, I want to say. Yeah, I like 2009, 2010, because I finished my associate's degree in graphic design back in 2011. That's when I graduated with my associates. But I was listening to Hollywood Babylon and Jay and Silent Bob Get Old, and Manga Pulse and Anime Pulse, and those were my go-to podcasts back in the day. I mean, I have like the first, I want to say 5 or 6 volumes of Chibi Vampire because of Manga Pulse. They recommended it, so I bought a couple of the first few volumes of it, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. I thought it was thought-provoking and funny at the same time. I also got the first 7 volumes of Fairy Tail because of Manga Pulse. I really missed that show. And then, of course, I also was listening to a lot of pro World of Warcraft podcasts. The Instance, Analog Hole Gaming. I really miss Analog Hole Gaming. I wish they hadn't decided to straight up hang up their microphones and their monitors after their co-host passed away. I mean, I get it, taking a short hiatus to grieve the passing of a friend. I get that. But, you've got an audience that is very much waiting with bated breath for your next episode every time you put out a new episode. Find a way to make the show work with just 2 hosts, or do some auditions for a new third host. I would love to see Analog Hole Gaming come back because I love those shows. I love their episodes. I love their podcast. I love the parts of their podcast that had nothing to do with World of Warcraft, when they were just talking about their, day-to-day lives. Like, I want to know, is Poop Sock still alive? Has he passed away? Is his girlfriend still that blanket that he liked to hug? What about the feral cat colony that they were taking care of? So, when podcasts just what's called pod fade, where they just stop producing altogether, they don't even do a goodbye episode, that sucks. But when podcasts do the goodbye episode, for whatever reason, that sucks even worse. Because at least when a podcast pod fades, it's just gone. But when they tell you that they're leaving and that they're hanging it up for good, that really sucks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For those of you who are new and don't know what I'm doing here, I'm building an underwater tram system between all the points of interest that I've found so far on this map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what I'm doing right now is I'm spacing out the alcoves that I am putting in for the redstone torches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that there's no slowdown of the minecart along the pathway. Now that it maintains a consistent speed. So in order to maintain a consistent speed in a minecart in Minecraft, you really do need to have your power rails evenly spaced out just enough that by the time minecart gets from one set of powered rails to the next set of powered rails, it hasn't lost any speed, any momentum. 3, 4, 5, 6. And putting the redstone torches every 6 blocks seems to be the ideal condition, the ideal spacing. If you use 3 powered rails, one right at the redstone torch and one on either side of the redstone torch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, some people might ask, well, why are you doing it underwater? Why not just do it above the water? Well, I play a lot of World of Warcraft, obviously. And so I was inspired by the underwater tram system between Stormwind and Ironforge. I'm like, I want to do that. I want to make it underwater. I want to make it glass enclosed so that as you're zooming by in your minecart, you can look out and you can see all this wonderful ocean views. You could see the fishes and the squids swimming by. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, a lot of streamers would be asking their audience questions, like, how are you guys doing? And I'm more than willing to ask those questions when people are actively chatting, but I don't want you guys to feel obligated to say something in chat. If you want to say something in chat, cool. I'll respond. I'll talk to you. But I'm not going to force you to do it. That's just, if you want to lurk, cool. Lurk. As long as you're watching, I appreciate the views. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Okay. Yep. And then I'm doing these towers here, these what I call exhaust towers, because they give me an easy way to be able to exit the tunnel, or first of all, get into the tunnel to hollow it out, and then to get out of the tunnel to start building more tunnel. I started doing it when I first started building the tram system because I was finding that it was taking forever for me to jump out of the water, go all the way back to the beginning of the tram tunnel, get into the tram tunnel, and start hollowing it out so that I could put in the tracks and the redstone torches and everything. So if you go all the way back to the beginning of my tunnel, you can definitely see the evolution of this tunnel. Wait a minute. I found Nemo! I love it. Clownfishes. There are actual clownfish in this game. I once found Nemo and Dory swimming together. I tried to take a screen or a recording of it so I could show my wife, and it didn't work out. But I was like, trust me, I found them both. Normally, I use my black first-party Xbox controller, but I'm using my PowerA controller instead because right now because I am using my first-party Xbox controller to basically play Xbox on my phone on my TV, or on my TV through my phone. Now that I know that you can actually do that. Alright, looks like we have an ad break incoming, so I'm going to take a quick break. When I come back, we're going to keep going, so don't go nowhere. Thinking maybe 5 minutes. Alright, back in 5 minutes. Again, don't go nowhere. I will be right back. Go. Got that all mashed up. Hello, Diva. Go. The sea lamps that I put into the floor, which are temporary. Alright. So apparently I was doing this quest wrong. I thought I only had to throw one rat at the basilisk, and apparently you gotta throw 5 to pacify them. And so I've gotta run around and collect. Today is Dubby Merc Mayhem. It's a cherry limeade flavor.
Let me remind you of the dark side's power,
Delicious. If you want to get some for yourself, head over to dubby.gg. Use promo code MACRO1. That's MACRO1 at checkout. Save 10% on your order and help support the channel.
They're responsible for our assignment to this toxic rock. The Republic went digging and found the source of this planet's poison.
The miners call it local tribe has transformed the two islands in the center of the river into a fortress. The orcs must be holding the captives at the very heart of the complex.
I sneak and find play after I'm done with Halo Master Chief Collection. It's because of the Amazon Prime series, which I thoroughly enjoyed watching. I loved the Fallout franchise, the Fallout series. It was fun. Alright.
Browse. Take your time. Enjoy.
Let's just grab pretty much one of each seed that I can. Not just during the day, but in the middle of the night as well.
That ability isn't ready.
And then, of course, my upstairs neighbor blasting their music at 12:30 in the frickin' morning. Despite my landlord saying, the property manager saying, let's go ahead and swap out those boots. Alright, we're back. Okay. Okay, then we do this. Put the powered rails on there. And there we go. Put that powered rail down. Come over here. Put down another redstone torch. Another redstone torch. Another redstone torch. And then time to put down some rails. Sorry for the plane noises if they are coming in over my microphone. It's the downside to living literally 4 miles away from the airport, right in the flight path. Alright, let's switch back to the glass blocks. And exit the tunnel. And then looks like we have another tower to put down. Or to build up, as it would be. This is a very ambitious endeavor to create a tram system that pretty much covers the entire map of this particular world. And once I'm finished with it, once I've finally put down minecart paths to every point of interest on this map, I am definitely going to see if I can get the seed code for this map with all of my tram system built up, so that people can download this map and explore my tram system for themselves. Though, to be honest, if people ask and are polite and don't, spam my chat with, I can get you viewers, just go to this website and buy these viewers. No, I don't buy viewers. That is not how you grow on Twitch. But if you're polite and you ask nicely, I'll invite you and you can come enjoy my awesome tram system for yourself in real time as it's being built. Wait. Okay, torch. Oops. Now, I know for all the computer gaming PC enthusiasts out there wondering, no, I have no plans on purchasing a 5000 series graphics card. I am perfectly happy with my 4060. It's a perfectly good card. It runs all the games I want to run at the resolutions I want to run them at. It's fully capable of supporting the dual monitor setup that I have, though I don't really recommend spending an arm and a leg on a second monitor if you don't have to. What I did for my secondary monitor is I went to Goodwill and I bought a TV for $7.99. Good HD TV with, HDMI input is perfect for a secondary monitor. Alrighty. Let's go. Let's clear this out. Go back to that. And I'm getting a lot of work done today. I'm impressed with the progress that I'm making today in such a short period of time. Now that my tram system tunnel process has been solidified so that I know exactly what I need to do to build it. once I get this section to where my character is currently located, I will turn around and do a quick check of where I am in relation to the next breaking point. Actually, I'm almost to the curve. Wow. That is impressive work. Now the real question is, will I be able to actually reach the curve before the end of the stream? Might be able to, might not be able to. We'll see how things go. All depends on how quickly I can get the tunnel actually built up. And the reason why I'm building the tunnel like this is so that I don't have to fight with the tunnel flooding every time I want to get in and out of it, or every time I want to eat blowfish. Because I've made underwater buildings before in Minecraft, and it is always a pain in the butt to get the building cleared of all the water first. My favorite thing to do when doing underwater bases is to build them into the side of the shore. I also have annoying neighbors who don't seem to understand that they are in a residential neighborhood and shouldn't be making so much dang noise. In fact, I'm surprised some of these people haven't been ticketed by the police yet for violations of noise ordinances in the city. For excessive vehicle noise. You know, aside from the fact that only certain vehicles, certain model year vehicles are required to have emissions testing in the state of Washington. You know, past a certain year, you don't actually need to have your vehicle. You don't have to have your vehicle emissions tested. I don't even think you need to have your vehicle inspected beyond a certain year in the state of Washington. It just needs to have that emissions test. I'm surprised how many of these people not. I honestly don't believe that the Federal Way Police Department, the city I live in, I don't believe that the Federal Way Police Department even carries decibel meters to check the decibel levels of vehicle exhaust. Because if they did, every single vehicle in this neighborhood that I live in this apartment complex, would be ticketed. With the exception of my vehicle, because me and my wife, we have a Chevy Volt plug-in hybrid. Alright, let's get rid of this. Oops. Okay. So there is a bit of a trick here. Because these curves, whenever there's a bend in the tunnel system, there is always a kind of weird trick that has to be go. Boom. Done. Alright. Now we go back here. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. And no, it is not the construction, because they are still the landscaping company is still doing some construction on some of the landscaping in the neighborhood. They don't actually start working until like 7:30. So it's definitely not them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is definitely one of the neighbors that has a ridiculously loud exhaust, that if it was my choice, if I had a say in it, they would either have to have their vehicle repaired to fix the issue to lower the decibel level, or they would be straight up evicted. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Whew. Now that was the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The thunderstorms in this game are loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I also have a hard time. Sheesh. I also have a hard time with putting in the redstone torch alcoves when I'm going around curves. So if I mess this up, I apologize. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seriously, that is loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm very much considering going into settings and turning off the weather cycle. Maybe even forcing it in the day mode permanently. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I may have to adjust that where the alcove is. Alright. Let's do one more tower. Yeah, we're gonna do one more tower here and then call it a day. And that rain is getting louder and louder the closer to the surface I get. Yay! And this side. I mean, I could have the support for the hatch for of every tower all on the same side, but I like the alternating it. Just feels right to alternate it. And that's really the whole idea behind Minecraft design is what feels right. What feels like it should be built this way or that way. Did I? I must have missed something. Alright, 1, 2, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. Okay. So I just did something out of order. But that's okay. Alright, we're going to set up for the next one. For the next tower. I'm not going to actually start building it today. So you see, every third, so if you go count the first tower as 1, 2, 3, next tower. And then again using that count, the tower that you're on, 1, and then another thing here, and then so on and so forth. It's what makes sense to me. I'm just gonna do 1 layer of the tower, just so I know I am centered. Alright, so that's gonna do it for me today, folks. I want to thank y'all for joining me. You have been awesome. Big shout out to Steve King 2399 for chatting. I appreciate it. I will be back on tomorrow at 5 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. GMT, playing some Star Wars The Old Republic, continuing my adventures with the dark side of the Force. So until tomorrow, 5 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. GMT, peace out. Stay frosty, and I hope y'all have a great day.
This is how the story ends. I've read between the lines. Your pages are a mystery. Your words are undefined. You buried all your secrets there for one of us to find. You wrote them on the pages bare, between the covers by.